how's it going? I'm Marlena. Thanks for wandering by. So I put a poll up for my subscribers, and thanks to all of those of you that are here returning, and welcome to anybody that's new. I'm Marlena, and I'm a poet and a tarot reader, and I like to make content around both of those things: poetry, creative writing, tarot, and where the two line up. This is another it's a deck collection video, and I put a poll up, like I was saying, to my lovely subscribers to see what they wanted for me to do next. And it wasn't overwhelming, but for the most part, everyone wanted to see my October decks. And you know, we're in that time of year. It's the end of September. We're heading into October. So it's the spooky season. It's fall. It's Halloween. It's all that good fun stuff. And well, I'm not. I might get I might get roasted for this, but I'm not like a really big Halloween or Samhain person. At least not like in the secular kind of way, I guess. I don't even know. I mean, I guess I enjoy some things about the season, but where I live, it's not really like, there's not really seasons. So we kind of do our own kind of pretend fall type thing. But I pulled out for you my what feel like October decks to me. And I often do assign, I assign my decks to a particular month of the year. That, you know, I have different types of decks and things, and I've done a couple of collection videos, but I really do, at least over the course of the last year and a half or so, have really like become attached to, and this, you know, might change, but I've become attached to certain decks during certain times of the year. And these are, for me, October feels like, it feels dark, it feels like going internal, it feels spooky, and there is some, you know, there's something like exciting and invigorating about that, but also like it's about kind of deep, even dark sometimes work. But I pulled out for you what I feel like are probably very expected traditional type of October decks that you might have seen before. And then I also grabbed some that, I don't know, might feel a little unexpected. Who knows what you guys will think. My Scully friends are here, and I've got a little candle burning for us. So yeah, let's get into it. I have lots of decks, tarot decks to show you. The majority of these are tarot decks. And then we'll have, I have one oracle deck that is kind of like the only one that I'm pretty sure that I'll be using in the month of October. Now, I won't be using all of these decks in the month of October, but a lot of them will. A lot of them will come out. All right, so why don't we start with the one oracle deck, and then we'll get into the tarot. How about that? So this is the Seasons of the Witch Samhain Oracle. And it is my favorite oracle deck. In fact, this whole series is probably what made me change my mind about oracle decks. And probably because I wasn't sure what the heck oracle was going to be like for me until I decided last year in October, after I got this deck, to use it every day. And it was great. I mean, so the setup, first of all, the artwork is amazing. The keyword is great. I mean, there's been debate, I think, about these little poems, or they're like rhyming couplets here sometimes that appear on the card. Some people think that they don't align or don't like them, but I really do. I feel like it gets to the heart of the particular symbol, metaphor, story, whatever, you know, is going on in the deck. And I love this artwork. I really love I just really love the vibe, you know. It makes me get into the spirit of October, of this time of year, of that kind of inward push, that, you know, mysterious, enigmatic, witchy, nighttime, you know, that whole vibe. I love, you know, that fairy tale, that dark woods, just, you know, that the spider, all of the things that are part of October. This just gives it this, like, I don't know, it feels deep and magical and, you know, mystical and scary. And you know, I don't identify as a witch, and I don't, you know, I'm so Seasons of the Witch, you know, I don't follow the Wheel of the Year, but I do really love the ideas in this. I wonder if that makes sense to you guys. But yeah, I absolutely love the Seasons of the Witch Samhain. I have all 3 that are out now. I do really enjoy the guidebook. It is something that, like, this is the type of deck that when I pull cards, I will definitely doodle and journal. I really like it. So that's like the one oracle that's going to be spending time with me in the month of October. Now let's get into some tarot decks that I'm excited to show you about. So number one, probably on everybody's list. No, this is the Deviant Moon. And I gotta say, this is such a special deck to me. And I feel like I have a story that's not uncommon, I think, with this deck. And it's that for me, I wasn't sure if it was going to be a deck for me. And when I saw it, I did this a lot at the beginning where when I was learning tarot, that I was just like, I would see decks and I just sort of had these like impulses right away that there were things that just weren't going to be for me. And now I've totally and completely gone away from that because I started, you know, trying things out. And I love everything about the moons in the Deviant Moon tarot. I just started trying things that I was like, that my first impulse was a no for, and now it's opened up such a world for me. Yeah, the Deviant Moon, so I got it. It was the first deck that I ever edged. This is the borderless edition, so I did it all in black. And I was like, oh my gosh, I will edge all the decks now. But I love the creatures in this deck. Like, I love how it really does speak to the shadow meaning of the cards. And while I don't only see the shadow here, I really it really brings out things like what I think in the unconscious or subconscious for me. There's humor in here too. I don't know if many of you see it. I mean, it's weird. It's like a very, very specific world that the creator, that Patrick Valenza has, you know, made for us. And it is a Waite-Smith deck. You can see the Waite-Smith in it. And then there's this whole other world, you know, to go into. And I really love all of the faces. I love all of the extra limbs all over. I love the weird, like just these like weird little, you know, tongue and things that just make you go like, what on earth is happening here? And then it makes you like envision like these little, I mean, maybe not little, but it just is so otherworldly. It almost feels for me like it's in this like, I don't know, fae realm where it's like goblins and ghosties and, you know, I don't know who they are. They're so, you know, I keep getting to know them as I traverse through this deck. And I've used it other times of the year other than October. I like to use this deck for readings for other people, which I don't often get to do. And I do like to read for other people. And I love it. I love the Deviant Moon. I love how it makes me feel. I love that I absolutely love this card the most. Love it so much. This is such a perfect death card. But yeah, I love that, and it is definitely going to be coming out at some point in the month of October. So here's another one I think that is like one of those controversial decks, like one of those decks that is polarizing, just like the Deviant Moon is the Hush Tarot. The Hush Tarot, created by Jeremy Hush, and it is curated art. So it wasn't made to be, these pieces of art weren't made to be tarot. Rather, he went through his art and chose pieces of art for the tarot. Now, I just got done watching the three girls talk about this deck, and Julie from Peekaboo Rose did. And I haven't seen her other video yet, but I'll link these below. She and some other folks I know have reimagined the Hush Tarot. I think Dawn Michelle did too. They reimagined it in that they changed the order, because the artwork it's not typical, right? This is definitely not Waite Smith. So it calls upon you to use your intuition. Now, why is this an October deck for me? I mean, it feels like it could be September, October, November, even though like in my area, I'm not in a place where there's like, where everything green become, you know, the fall changing colors and stuff. There is definitely decay, but that happens kind of all year. It's not just an October thing. But this just feels, it feels like the hidden, dark, inner places. And that for me is what this time of year begins to be, at least. And that's what I feel like is what I want to use the tarot for. Because if in the summer it was all about kind of like bright and energetic and kind of like a, you know, because summer for me also, I'm an educator, although it's summertime, it's school's out, and there, you know, things are energetic, whereas in the fall it's like getting back into routines and then getting settled and then kind of delving into the self. And this is a deck, so I love it. I love it as is. I don't think I would reorder it or reimagine it. I like to dive into a deck that is not traditional. I like to reinterpret the tarot. And it doesn't like, I mean, it does challenge me for sure, but it doesn't, I'll accept it. You know what I mean? Like, I will look at it. I will see what's been reinterpreted. I'll, you know, look at the guidebook, and then I'll make my own association and my own interpretation and what I think this is saying about another way to, you know, stretch the imagination around what that card meaning is. Like, what's the story there? And it could go completely outside of what I know, what I imagine. And some, you know, some are more typical, right? I mean, this artwork is beautiful. I adore it. Oh, look, the sun and the moon together. I just, yeah, it feels like this time of year. Whoops. I love that card so much for the devil. This artwork is stunning. And I kind of like to just take it and use it as is. And I don't know, maybe one day I would feel differently, but right now that's kind of how I feel. Okay, so this might be unexpected, or I'm not sure. So the Blood Moon Tarot, this deck, oh my goodness, let's talk about it. So it definitely totally gives me October vibes. Look at the stunning backs on this. This deck is beautiful. It's got these gold gilded edges, which like, I could take it or leave it. But, so it's definitely dark and creepy. It is definitely unexpected imagery. It does not really follow the Waite Smith. All of the suits have been renamed. Dreams is swords. The songs are cups. And when I get to another one, I'll let you know. But like, that's creepy. There's eyeballs and teeth. I think what it is about this deck, so, oh, honey is the pentacles, nudity, sorry guys. I don't know if I ever give nudity warnings, and sometimes I do. And the skins is the wand suit. I was captivated, I think, by the majors in this deck. And, oh God, some of these images are like, they're a lot. It's really creepy. So I haven't really read with this deck because I'm not sure of it. I got it, I looked through it, I've looked through it many times. Maybe it's the borders that throw me off. I'm not like put off by the imagery that it's creepy or, I don't know, it's definitely a mood. It's definitely different. It's can be scary. It can be pretty. I don't know what it is. I haven't reached for it since I got it. And I got it a while ago. And I put it in my purgatory drawer and I took it out and I put it back in. God, see, like, this is what made me buy this. And I know you shouldn't, whatever. I bought this deck and I'm just gonna own that because of this Fool card. It feels like, this feels like fantasy, you know? This feels very much like fantasy. And it feels like October. And I keep thinking, when am I gonna use this? When will I bring it out? And I think I'm gonna try this October. Here are all the majors. Must have it in like some kind of order that I was messing with it. I love that Lover's card. I love all the insects in here too. I love that Strength card too. That's awesome. I feel like I appreciate it the cards individually. I haven't given it a chance to show me its voice. I haven't given it a chance to speak to me yet in readings. I think maybe I did like an interview. But yeah, this is the perfect time though, in October, to take out the Blood Moon Tarot. Look at that. Ugh, creepy, right? To take out this deck and give it a whirl, right? So this one, it might be expected, but it might not. You might not have seen it. So this is the Cthulhu Dark Arts Tarot. And this is mass market. There is another Cthulhu deck out there that's mass market. I don't have that one. But I mostly got Cthulhu for my partner because he's a big fan of Cthulhu, of H.P. Lovecraft, and so I got it specifically to do readings for him. This is giant, this deck. It's not easy to shuffle. It's cool backs though. So here's the thing, and I did edge mine in black. Oh, it's got this weird bow in it right now. Here's the thing about this deck, and you'll see right away. It's a pip deck. It's definitely a pip deck. And I think I feel comfortable. I haven't read with this deck a lot because my partner, he doesn't always want me to read for him. And also, he's very familiar with H.P. Lovecraft's writings, but I am not. So I want more than what this guidebook gives to me. But this artwork, okay, can you not get more like just like I mean, it's all, you know, it's H.P. Lovecraft, so it's fantasy and it's creepy and it's spooky and it's scary. But yeah, all the court cards and the majors are scenic or even portrait-like. Because yeah, all the court cards are pretty portrait-like, but there's these, like, look at this creature. These creatures are amazing. This artwork is gorgeous. Like, I thought about, you know, because it was a pip deck and because I honestly haven't read with it very much, about maybe rehoming it, but I don't know. I've also thought about maybe just taking out all of the scenic artwork and framing them. Oh, it's so awesome. Like, it's so cool. I love the colors. Look at that Hanged Man. These are gorgeous. Aces aren't bad either. But, you know, the pips are just like, meh. They're, you know, they're just pips. And it's like so disappointing compared to these like gorgeous, you know, scenic and illustrated majors and court cards. But I mean, I love the creatures. I love this world, you know. Look at this death card. And I don't know the stories, like I said. I want to just show you all of the courts and all of the majors, and then we can like just skip through these pips. Look at that Empress. Freaking love it. Yeah, it's so my wheelhouse though of, you know, fantasy, science fiction genres that I love. And yeah, I mean, it has very masculine energy. Look at that Hermit boiling in a cauldron. Yeah, I mean, it's dark, you know? It's very dark. Yeah, I imagine too, because I haven't, I wish the pips had different colors too, so that when you laid out a spread that you could see, you know, how much of one suit that you had. The sun, that's creepy. So yeah, it definitely, you know, it definitely feels October. It definitely feels like horror. It definitely, look at this, Magus and the High Priestess. I think it's a cool deck, and it's definitely gonna hang around. And I will probably, if my partner wants me to do any readings for him in October, this will be one of the decks. This will be one of the decks that I use. All right, let's see. Okay, here's another indie deck, and this is brand new to me. This is the Lost Hollow Tarot, and I've been wanting this deck, and I've been unsure about this deck, and I've been back and forth, and then I was just like, all right, I'm just gonna do it. I'm just gonna buy it. I think it might still be in order. Yeah, it is. This deck is definitely for me, I've said definitely like a bajillion times, this deck is totally October, like the black and white and red coloring. Oh, I love this Empress and Emperor together. Let's put them side by side. So look at them. They're these like fawns. What are they? They have horns. Oh, I love it. It's Thoth based, so this could have gone into my Thoth tarot, my Thoth decks collection. Oh, and look, it gives you the choice for using strength and adjustment at 8. Just so you could read it Waitsmith, you could read it Thoth. And then it has justice, and it should be lust, but it says strength again. So what the heck was I saying? Am I telling you why it's an October deck? I mean, I think it's pretty obvious. It feels horror. It feels spooky. It feels like this other realm, you know, but like in the most, like in the dark woods way, you know, the Lost Hollow. This is a stroll through like another dimension, planet. I don't know. Let me go through it a little bit faster. But it's, I mean, it's cool. It's like dystopian a little bit too. It's very, I mean, it's definitely a mood, and I'm really excited to work with it. I'm definitely going to be working with this in October. I love this King of Wands. He's so badass. Oh, love it. Yeah, oh, that's great. 2 of Cups. I don't know. Honestly, this deck is really cool. I was telling my friends that I'm not sure if I'm cool enough for this deck, but I'm going to use it anyway. There's a carnivalesque vibe in here too, which is not my favorite thing. I prefer this like demon, angel, you know, fairy, I don't know, punk, space cowboy that almost makes me think of bizarro world. Yeah, it's cool. It's very cool. There's a Medusa vibe going on here. There's like, oh yeah, like the masks and the carnival stuff isn't my jam, but like look at this. This is definitely Thoth inspired. I can see the Thoth. There's like witchy stuff. It is, yeah. I'm gonna leave you the links, like I said, or did I say? I always leave you the links below of where you can purchase these if you're interested. And this one goes in and out of print. But it's cool. It's very cool. It's very, very horror, very, very October. It's like, maybe this is like an inner teenager type of deck for me too. I have a couple of those. A couple of those inner teenager vibes. I'll grab another one that might have a little bit of inner teenager vibes for me as well. Actually, the next 2 might. So this is the Darkwood. So the Lost Hollow and the Darkwood Tarot. Now, this is a Llewellyn, so you can see it's got the big box. I enjoy these. I like the guidebooks for the most part. I really enjoyed this guidebook, you know, using it. I spent some time with this deck, for sure. I edged it in brown. I love Sasha Graham's well, no, it's the art is Abigail Larson. I love the Abigail Larson's art. I haven't got the horror tarot, so that's spoiler alert, not in this. Not in here. I love this fairy tale quality, this like dark and spooky fairy tale quality. That's another thing I think about this time of year is the, like, you know, the movies and stories and ghost stories and dark woods stories, and that, you know, that element of October. And I love all the animals that appear. I really enjoy the goblins. This deck is, and the guidebook is good. It's not for everyone. Some of my friends, aren't into this. The fairy and elf sort of thing going on. This has like a carnival-esque. Yeah, I learned a lot from, it's got like Sleepy Hollow kind of vibes here. It feels like a Disney movie is what it feels like to me. And it reminds me of my youth, but I can still dig it. It makes me feel like fairy tales. I like the story in the majors, and the guidebook goes into it. I love the places that it goes with the cards. And I really did like it. And I don't know if it's gonna make the cut, because I have other decks. As you can see, I have a ton that I want to use this upcoming October. Oh man, that Two of Swords and I had some moments. This was one of the cards that really, really taught me what the Two of Swords means, because she has all these demons, shadows around her, and then they aren't reflected here. So like what's in her mind. It was good for me. This one too, this Five of Pentacles. That feels very storybook. You imagine like the journey that they're on, and it's totally a journey. There's Maleficent vibes here. Total journey through the dark woods. I love getting to know these characters. Oh, this sad bunny. It's one card that's like, come on. Everything else in this deck is beautiful. This one Three of Pentacles is like, meh. But yeah, I really love the storytelling, the world building, the characters. They're all very, beautiful. Like conventionally beautiful or whatever. But I like it. I do. I really enjoyed this. I really enjoyed it. So the Darkwood Tarot. Okay, more inner teenager vibes. The Tarot Vampires. I totally meant to put this deck in my Thoth decks collection, because even though it's not like, I don't think that Ian Daniels explicitly says that this is a Thoth-based deck, but it certainly is. Like if you have bought this deck, and I got it a while ago. I bought it for the guidebook, but I'm keeping it for everything about it. It is amazing. I got it back, I think, in like early this year, like January, February, when I started studying Thoth, because I heard about the guidebook being a really great resource and tool, and it has so much aligned, I think, with what I have found in the Thoth Tarot. I absolutely I love the artwork. This is not like artwork I would hang up in my home, but it is like, it's obviously an October deck because it's vampires, it's that story, but it's that like goth 90s vibe. I don't know what else can be said about this deck that hasn't already been said. I think for me, just like the Darkwood, there are decks that build a world that I want to be in, and they give me the tarot, they give the tarot back to me wrapped in this world. Or I dive into the tarot and I'm ensconced in this world, and then because I'm happy to live there with these vampires, and to, you know, let that metaphor envelop my life, like what I need to hear about my own personal life, right? And sometimes I just like to look at the cards, you know, even when I'm not reading. But I'm definitely going to be using the Tarot of Vampires in October, more dedicated than I have so far, because I really spent most of my time with the guidebook, and I haven't done, like, I've done some readings, but I haven't spent like a lot of time, you know, with the images in different readings. This is not a deck in the Darkwood. These are not decks I would probably use to read for other people. Like the Cthulhu, like the Deviant Moon. I think probably Deviant Moon, because it is, even though it's very different, it is still feels really closely aligned. The Deviant Moon does with Waitsmith, whereas this is his own thing. It is, you know, if the guidebook has stuff that makes me think Thoth, and Waitsmith, or just Golden Dawn in general, these images are its own thing. There's astrology in there. That is Danzig. Okay, anybody else? That is Glenn Danzig is the Fool. And I love him. I love Danzig. Anyway, Tower, yeah, I love that Sun card a lot. A lot. And when I first saw this, I thought this was the Lover's card, but it is the Sun. Yeah, Empress and Emperor with the apples, the different color apples. Yeah, I mean, I can't say anything too bad. I mean, I don't have anything bad to say about the Tarot of Vampires. I can't wait to use it. It's totally, I mean, it can probably be something to use anytime during the year, but, you know, why wouldn't you want to use the Tarot of Vampires in October? Like, it's made for it, right? It just, you know, it's the vibe. It's the Halloween October vibe. I know I have featured this deck on my channel before. It is the Raven's Prophecy Tarot. This deck and I, we get along really good, really well. I love this deck a lot. Okay, sorry, where was I? I had to take a break to check on my kiddo. So, oh yes, well, it's obviously in my hand. This, again, is the Raven's Prophecy Tarot. And it's one of my favorite decks. I love it. I love it all year round, but I mean, it's black and orange. It's an October deck. And it's also, it hits that note of, you know, that like inner work, that, which, I mean, of course, I get it. All of tarot is inner work, or can be seen that way. But, this is, okay, if I can get my words out. I talked about this deck, as one of my most minimalist deck, because of these, you know, very close up, one symbol cards that are seen through the deck quite a bit. But yeah, the Ravens, I know it's based on a series that I have not read, and I don't really care. I don't really think I need to. I get so much out of this deck regardless. But yeah, it's got that shadow work, you know, vibe. I love Maggie Stiefwater's artwork. I love the story of In the Minors. Love that Queen of Wands. But yeah, I mean, it's black and orange. It's got ravens. It's kind of, I don't know if it's spooky, but it's definitely like dark. Not to say that it's not hopeful too. But it's got some serious, I don't know if anybody would say it's disturbing, but it has it has the vibe, you know, it has the vibe of October. Look at that. Four of Swords, I love that. Resting, dead, injured, who knows? I love the tattooed or etchings or carvings into the skin there. That's intense, yeah. That's an intense card too. Rumor Haven, and I'll link to her below, had this whole discussion about what this card meant to her. And it was one of the coolest things I've heard a tarot tuber talk about. It was really, really awesome. Because when she got it, it was reversed. Anyway, this is one of her favorite decks. It's one of a lot of people's favorite decks. It's because it's so good. What else can I say? Like, it's so good. Like, look at that. Seven of Wands. Like, there's so much in this one image. It speaks volumes to me. Just like, you know, a nest with 3 eggs. It just speaks so, like just the trail of feathers. It's so good. Like, I love, love, love everything about it. I'm so excited to use it again. I have an excuse to pull it out in October just because it's October vibes, but I use it all the time throughout the year. Yeah, Raven's Prophecy. I edged mine. I know people have done all kinds of different kinds of modifications, all kinds of different kinds of modifications. That was wordy. Okay, what's next? Okay, creepy factor, trigger warning. If you don't like disturbing imagery, then you probably want to fast forward to the next deck, because this is the Hayworth Tarot, which I have featured on my channel before. I really, really like this deck. I know it's based on a podcast, and just like I haven't read the Raven's Prophecy books, that's like the creepiest card ever. Like, what could give you more October, Halloween-y, scary stuff vibes than that? This is based on a podcast, is what I was telling you. I haven't listened to the podcast. Don't think I need to. Maybe I will. I don't know. Who cares? Like, look at that. It's like a zombie. I don't know. That's the Fool. I've used this deck specifically for insomnia, and it's really been helpful. Yeah, I mean, it is shadowy as hell. It is... That looks like Jeff Buckley to me. Anybody? Jeff Buckley? Do you see Jeff Buckley there? All these holes. It's creepy. That Strength card. Melting Sun. It's like amazing. It's ghostly. It's otherworldly. It's creepy. It's scary. It's disturbing. It's dark. It's gory. Like, it is Halloween. This is like horror movies. This is, you know, I feel like they could have done more. Like, with all the other stuff, like that Ten of Swords seems like tame, right? I love the colors. I just like this deck. And I'm not into scary movies, you guys. Like, I'm not into horror. But this deck doesn't faze me in that way. I kind of like that it goes so totally weirdly outside the box for tarot. And I think it's cool. Again, maybe I'm not cool enough for a deck like this. Love that Hermit card. But I'm keeping it and I use it. I may... that always makes me laugh. That's gross. Yeah, it's gross. And that's Ali Sheedy. I think I've said that before. I might not use this month, but we'll see. I usually tend to want this deck when I can't sleep. And And I used it with another deck that is like, so like, this is so confronting that I use it with a deck that's more comforting, and it like gets me through my stuff. Okay, here's another deck that I am super excited to use. It is new to me. I did show you the mini version of this deck in my minis collection, and it's the Santa Muerte Tarot, the Book of the Dead. I got the mini version of this deck because I wanted to see if I would love it enough to get the large. Why can't I get this deck out of here? Okay. And honestly, I hadn't even gotten the mini in my hands yet before I was like, I want this deck. Here's the backs. It's gorgeous. And it is, you know, I mean, it's October, it's Santa Muerte, it's the Holy Death. And it is Santa Muerte, which I'm just learning about. I'm Cuban, I'm not Mexican, and I know Santa Muerte is a sort of like folk magic, I don't know what the folk magic, I guess, like a deity, a goddess or of death. And truly, I got this because I want to explore that kind of dark, morbid stuff, fear of the unknown, fear that you know, the things that scare me. And this deck, I just want to look at it. My God, there's so much in here. I want to explore that with this deck in particular. It definitely has its own, God, why do I say definitely so much? It goes its own way. I absolutely adore this Hermit card so much. It veers from your traditional Waite-Smith tarot imagery, is what I mean to say. Look at that Wheel of Fortune. It's gorgeous. Fabio Listrani is the artist, creator. Yeah, you know, guys, I want me some skeletons in October. I want to, you know, ponder mortality. I want that vibe. And it's creepy, and it's gory, and it's also beautiful. Sorry for the car noises. I don't know why somebody is driving like that around here. Okay. Anyway, it's kind of like a dark and spooky night here. I should have said that. It's like rainy. Yeah, but this is stunning. I can't help but, you know, but talk about just how gorgeous all this imagery is. Oh my God, that is amazing. Magician. I love this whole border at the bottom. I love the colors of the suits, that's gonna stand out. I really want to see what these ghouls, these skeletons, these, you know, harbingers of death. God, that's so freaking beautiful. 8 of Cups. I want to see what they bring out for me. Yeah, I can't wait to work with this deck, Santa Muerte Tarot. I've got 2 more, and I wonder how long this video has become. All right, so these might be unexpected, not what you would immediately think based on just like theme wise for October. But like for me, you know, it's Halloween, it's fall, it's ghost stories and spookiness and all that stuff too. But like I was saying, it's also about a time to kind of retreat inward, like in a very particular way psychologically. If that makes sense to you guys. At least that's what it feels like now that I have become such a fan of the tarot. So this is the Black Tarot, and this is a deck that I have definitely featured before here on my channel. The Black Tarot is an October deck. I mean, maybe it is obvious because it's this dark black and white deck, but it is, for me, this is my working with my unconscious or subconscious mind, and that work feels right at this time of year. Not to say that you can't do that or you need a specific deck for that, but like, I mean, for me, the reason why I like to have variety in my collection is because if the deck is singing to me that song and of that particular type of work that I want to do on myself or for myself or with myself or whatever, then why not let that song play? Don't turn off that song. You know, like, why fight it? This is gorgeous. It's totally underrated, I think. I don't see it often on the tarot tubes. The imagery is, okay, it is a little hard on my eyes. It can be a little pippish. The guidebook is actually really nice. Like, if you use the guidebook, and I'm a fan, I will always advocate for guidebooks because I like to know what the creator intended, and then I like to be like, all right, I'm on board with that. Or I like to just say, nope, I don't agree with you about your creation. I'm going to interpret it my own way. Which is like anything, you know, like hearing what an author intended or what a director intended, and then deciding that's creepy. That's the devil. Look at that death card. I love skeletons. They're cool. And then just deciding, like I was saying, you know, to take away what you want to take away is fine. Like, I don't know that I'll ever be a person that believes in any, like, absolute truth about anything, that things can only look or be defined one way. I'm for in reinterpretation. I guess I'm for kind of postmodern look at things where we deconstruct it and rebuild it. So yeah, oh, I didn't show you the backs, did I? They're cool. Yeah, this is a mass market deck. Like, it is relatively affordable, and it is so worth it. I've had mind-blowing moments with this deck, and it's, like I said, good guidebook too. Very, very good October deck if you are wanting something new and different for the spooky season. All right, last but certainly not least, this is the Barbara Walker Tarot, and this is the vintage version. I have been wanting this deck for a while. I know that there's a tin version that's available, and I'll link to that below because this is out of print, this particular boxed version. The tin version is the only one that you can get. But I found this on eBay, and I, you know, did my little eBay thing and got it for what I felt like was a reasonable price for me. By the way, though, I wasn't expecting this, but this deck is about the same size as the tarot in a tin, which for some reason, I just assumed it was standard size, but that's cool. I'm okay with that. I think I still have it in order. I do, and I don't care if I mix it up. So the Barbara Walker Tarot is an October deck for me. It's got major witchy vibes for sure, which, isn't like a make or break kind of thing for me about it being October. What this deck, I really wanted it is for its, I was gonna say darkness, but it's like its depth, and what it seems like when I look at these images is its ability to like reach depths of like my psyche and my inner stuff, landscape, and God, I feel like I'm gonna say all like the cheesiest things, like the depths of my soul. Does that sound lame? But it's true. And I love this artwork. It's so its own thing. Like, I don't see, it's 80s, right? 86, I think, is this deck. I also have The I Ching of the Goddess by Barbara Walker. I love the her feminist the way that she writes about the tarot from a feminist point of view. That's what I'm trying to say. But this deck is like, I feel like it's going to, and I haven't read with it yet, but the artwork that is very, same as the artwork of the I Ching of the Goddess. Like, it's a call out. It's a calling too. I feel like it's just like a reach in and get you to admit things type of deck. And I think a lot of people experience it in that way as well. And so it's doing its job. This artwork is definitely doing its job. And I feel like that fits really well. I love these different, it's like goddesses and gods in the quartz. Kali, that's freaking grotesque and beautiful. Don't you love it when things are grotesque and beautiful and powerful and amazing like that? Yeah, that's what that is for me. Yeah, that's so thothy. I also love keywords. Have you heard me say that before, guys? I kind of love keywords. I'm so excited to use this. I'm not like, I don't always want, like a reach into my gut, pull out what things that I don't want to admit. But this is definitely a deck that will do that. At least so far, that's what it feels like. I've done just like a couple of like get to know you readings with it. All right, I'm not gonna pile all of these decks back on here. I'll just put a couple. But that was it. That's my October decks. And like I said, some of these are gonna make their way onto my table this month, or this upcoming October, and some of them are not, but they live in that space for me, that October, spooky, creepy, dark, inner working landscape, that, things that unknown, that scary, that type of time of year. That's what this feels like right now. It feels like where I want to head into in my personal growth and development. So that's where I'm at. And it's also fun. It's also fun artwork and Halloween-y spooky vibes too. Oh my gosh, I didn't grab out the Halloween tarot in a tin, did I? Well, I showed that to you in my little tin decks. I can't believe I didn't grab that. That's hilarious and such a funny way to end this video. Okay, guys, thank you as always for sticking around with me. I hope you enjoyed this. And yeah, I hope that you all have a beautiful, wonderful day. Bye.